Welcome. Let's turn this thing down and then let's get started. Welcome everyone. Welcome to the Profit Lab show and podcast. I'm your host, Marie Torossian, CPA and 10X certified business coach, and I'm so glad you are here. If you're new to the show, go ahead and subscribe or like the pages or the channels that you are watching us or listening to us on, so you get all the alerts when we drop every new episode, which is every Wednesday at noon Eastern time. And that's on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Podbean, Apple Podcasts, and more. Today, we're diving into pillar number 10, which is next level growth. So you've built a profitable, scalable business. Now what? Let's talk about expanding your impact, building your legacy, and creating something that lasts way beyond you. So what does next level growth look like? Three things: impact, influence, and legacy. So let's talk about each of them on its own. Impact. Think of serving more people, solving bigger problems. If I were to give you an example, think of an agency that stops doing random one-off projects and builds a repeatable growth sprint offer that helps 50 of their clients get measurable results within the year. Okay, so that's the impact. And seems like the music is still on, so make sure it's off. Second one is influence. Think of becoming a thought leader in your industry. Does everyone know you as a thought leader in your industry? So think about a law firm that becomes known for that one thing, like, for example, employment law for healthcare practices. And now referrals come in because the whole market knows exactly what your firm does. Okay, so that's the influence you've built based on your thought leadership. And number 3, legacy, building something that totally outlasts you. Think of a consulting firm documenting their delivery method so it can be thought, sold, and delivered without the founder. So the business becomes an asset, not a job. An example is like an IP, right? Or a specific process. And we've mentioned before, one of the things that builds so much value in a business when they're ready to sell is their SOPs and specific trainings or structure that they actually have, protected, right? So that becomes an asset in the business. So to group all of this, impact is what you do. Influence is who knows that you do it. And legacy is what remains when you're no longer doing it yourself. Okay. Now I want to get into the 3 paths to the next level growth. Okay. The first path is going deeper. Think of serving your existing clients at a much higher level, adding more premium services, and creating more transformation and increasing that retention of those group of clients. So again, I'm going to give you some examples here because, this is not about, philosophy. This is all about actionable, takeaways from every single episode. So here's an example. Think of an agency adding a quarterly strategy plus reporting, retainer to existing clients. So something that it becomes a higher level service, for example, a premium service. A CPA firm adding monthly advisory services and then tracking that KPI in the review. Okay, additional things that you're offering to your current existing clients. An IT company can, add security monitoring and quality risk review. A consultant adding implementation support instead of just strategy only. So when we're thinking about going deeper, path number 1, quick checklist, think of these questions to kind of jot down how you can go deeper. What do my best clients need next? So if you have a, say 5, 10 clients, okay, where are they at in their client journey? What are the services that they're doing? And what could be the next thing that they should do with you? Question number 2, what would make them stay more than 12 months? And what's the premium version of what you already do for them? So maybe it's something that you're doing that you can expand it a little bit more and becomes more of a premium version of what they're already getting from you. Okay, so now let's get into path number 2. And this one, instead of going deeper, you're going wider. This is expanding your reach. Let's say going into new markets, new industry, new geography, and scaling your impact more horizontally. So again, with an example, let's say a local firm expands nationally with a remote delivery model. One of the things I decided to do very early on when I started my consulting, then my accounting firm, is that I always wanted to be virtual. So before COVID shutdowns, before everybody was required to be on Zoom all the time, that was exactly my model. I did not want to be tied up to the desk. I did not want to be showing up at clients' offices all the time. And I wanted to be able to deliver everything virtually. And so that was one of my decisions very early on, and I continue to do that. A B2C service, let's say, adds a B2B package or vice versa. Again, depends on what kind of business you're in. Say a niche provider adds a second niche that shares the same pain. For example, for agencies, consultants, dentists, and chiropractors. So this is a way you expand, and then you create like a referral. So going wider without systems breaks businesses. So only go wider if the delivery is stable, right? I have a mentee that she's in longevity, in the area of longevity business. And one of the things she does is when people sign up with her, they have the family practice doctor, but they also have all the other professional providers of, let's say, dentist, chiropractor. And that's one of the reasons I put that note there. So when the person joins with them, they get access to all of the other ones as well. So it's a higher level package and it's a wider network. Okay, path number 3, go higher, move upstream. So serve bigger clients, solve bigger problems, charge premium prices, and then elevate your positioning. So what does that look like? So for example, getting bigger buyers. You go from working with, let's say, solo entrepreneurs or small teams to maybe slightly bigger firms, right? If you're working with firms that only have, let's say, 5 employees, you decide to expand into, companies that have 20 plus employees. So that's like going upward, right? Going higher, solving bigger problems. So for example, you stop solving tasks and start solving higher stake business problems, say profitability, risk, growth, additional capacity. So you're solving a lot bigger problems than just like random tasks as part of the program that you have. Higher standards, maybe you decide to have fewer clients and do much deeper work with very clear boundaries instead of more clients. So that's usually a tough one to do, but it's totally doable. A lot of times you might have clients that are maybe dragging you down, and maybe they're too small, and so they drag you down. And sometimes it's a difficult decision to switch from that into staying focused on the main top clients that you have, and then keep those clients happy, add more services, and then expand with a similar type, higher level clients. So most successful businesses do all 3, but not at the same time. So for this current situation, pick one and then do that. Think about that and do that in the next, say, 30 days. Okay. So I'm going to go review this again. You can go deeper by serving your current clients with higher premium services. You can go wider by expanding your network and markets and collaborating with others. Or you can go higher, moving upstream, going from smaller businesses to slightly bigger businesses. Okay. All right. So I also wanted to talk about today, how do you build your thought leadership, right? This is really important. if you want to build that influence that we talked about, you have to do it through thought leadership. So, next level growth in this area is going to require more visibility. More people need to know you, not just you know them, but they know you. So some of the things that you could do is, focus on building more content. So you might want to do a podcast like the one I'm doing right now. Maybe you write more blogs, create a YouTube channel, expand your LinkedIn content. So again, we can't do all of it at the same time, but you can focus on one of them. So where's your content strategy going to stay focused? Is it going to be a new podcast you're going to launch? Or maybe you have dabbled into some type of a YouTube channel, you've done a few content, and that's where you want to expand. So pick one and then go with it. Another way to get more visibility is to do speaking engagements. So that means you go on other people's stages, or you can do your own webinars, or you can be part of panel discussions on other people's stages. What's great about speaking and being on other people's stages is that you're going to get that visibility. People are going to think of you, oh, wow, she's on stage or he's on stage, and something they're going to say is going to be important, so I might as well listen. So that's what's going to build onto your thought leadership. Another way is to publish a book, for example, or creating a signature framework, right? We're talking about today, like all this podcast is all about my signature framework, which is Valuation MT, which I use for CFO advisory services, but I also use it as part of my coaching. So that's something that is very proprietary to me. So that's one way that you can create that thought leadership for yourself. Okay, which I'm on a couple of books too, but I'm very, very excited about my framework. So that's why I always bring it up. The other thing is to create your own community, build a tribe of raving fans and advocates, right? Different ways to do that is that you can do it on a Facebook group, but there's some limitations with Facebook because they kind of own all the data, but there's platforms that you can use to build your own community. And guess what? The fastest way to do it is just to invite everybody on a Zoom meeting, and here you go, right? It could be on WhatsApp. It could be anything. So don't let the technicalities of building any of these strategies stop you. Don't think about the technicalities. Think about which is the one that I like and I would love to do, and then commit to doing it. Then figure the rest out later. All right. The next section I want to talk about is, when you're thinking about your exit strategy, which brings us to, leaving a lasting legacy, right? Part of that exit is to make sure that you're ready. You have your SOPs ready. So if you want your time freedom, right, optimize, keep your business profitable, but keep it simple. Keep your, client roster, tight. You can raise prices, reduce complexity, and prep for that exit in the right way, right? If you want more market impact, you can expand, add a secondary delivery team, open new markets. Again, this is different ways to not only expand, but prep for your exit. And if you want wealth, and that's the main exit, build transferable systems, add a leadership team that can actually move with the business when you sell it. Document how you deliver things. What does that process look like? And then as much as possible, reduce how much dependency is on you as the founder, right? Make sure your books are clean. So when you're thinking of where you're going, in the next 5 years, so I want you to think about, do you want to create that time freedom in the next 5 years? Because exit is not in the plans right now. That's okay. So you build, to optimize your business. If you're looking to do a massive impact, you continue to expand in different ways, like we talked about. But let's say you are at an age where you want to be exiting in the next 5 years. So that's a whole different prep, right? So in that case, it's a wealth event, and you want to make sure all the structures and processes are in place, documented, so that when a buyer comes knocking on the door, you are ready to exit and create a wealth event for yourself. Okay. This brings us towards the towards the end of our podcast today, and here's your profit question of the week. What does success look like for you 5 years from now? Are you still running your business, or have you moved on to something else? This really is an important question for all of us business owners and entrepreneurs. We have to decide what is happening in the next 5 years, and based on that, make the right decisions, right? I know that for me, the next 5 years are still in the expansion and growth phase. I'm not ready to exit yet. I still want to do a lot of things myself with my business, but the end goal is to exit. But I know for sure in the next 5 years, it's all about growth and expansion for me. And can't wait to hear what your plan is. And make sure you comment and let me know what your thoughts are in the next 5 years. What are you planning to do? And let's have a conversation. Okay, 3 questions for you before we wrap up for today. Here's your to-do list, your homework for next week. Choose your next level path. Are you going to go deeper, wider, or going higher in how you're doing your business? Number 2, pick one thought leadership channel that you want to focus on in 2026. I mean, first quarter is done. We're in the second quarter. There's still a lot of time to build that momentum. So pick that one channel and go at it. And then write your 5-year vision. Where do you want to be? What needs to happen or change to be able to get there? All right. And that brings us to the close. Next week, we are wrapping up with a special episode on 10x mindset and how to sustain a long-term growth without the burning out. And with that, see you next week.